We often think of our reality as solid and unwavering, like a mighty oak tree standing tall against the winds of change. But what if that's just an illusion? What if our world is actually a flowing river, constantly shifting and changing without our realization? Now, you might be thinking, I've taken leave of my senses, but stay with me here. This isn't just a philosophical musing, it's a real phenomenon that's baffled millions and continues to do so even today. It's the Mandela Effect. And while there are skeptics who attribute it all to false memories and the quirks of our brains, there are those who believe it points to something far more extraordinary: the merging of alternate time. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the perplexing instances of people sharing memories that simply don't add up. We'll explore whether these glitches in our collective consciousness are echoes from parallel universes, or just tricks of our memory. So buckle up and get ready for a mind-bending journey that challenges the very fabric of our existence. Before we start, remember to hit that like button for more videos. Now, let's dive into the fascinating world of the Mandela Effect. Nelson Mandela was a global icon, a symbol of hope and freedom, especially during his time spent fighting against apartheid in South Africa. He became a beacon of light during one of history's darkest periods. It was because of this that when he passed away in 2013, millions around the world mourned his loss. But what does this have to do with the Mandela Effect? Well, here's where things get strange. A considerable number of people vividly remember hearing about Mandela's death in the early 1980s, with some even recalling news reports and funeral ceremonies. However, Mandela didn't actually die until 2013. He was in prison from 1962 to 1990 before becoming South Africa's first black president. His death in 2013 at the age of 55 shocked the world. So why do so many people confidently recall an earlier Mandela death? It doesn't seem to be a case of mistaken identity. Since Mandela was not a public figure in the early 80s, some have suggested that these memories could be false, perhaps influenced by Mandela's later prominence. But others see it as evidence of a shifted timeline, a reality where Mandela died much earlier than our own. This discrepancy has sparked heated debates, leaving us to wonder if our memories are playing tricks on us, or if there's a more profound, perhaps even supernatural explanation. The Mandela Effect has been named after Nelson Mandela, but it's not just about him. It's a broader phenomenon where large groups of people share false memories of significant events, brand logos, or historical details. For instance, many vividly recalled the Berenstain Bears, a children's book series, being called the Berenstain Bears during their childhood, but no official records or publications support this alternate name. Similarly, some swear they remember the Monopoly man in the classic board game having a monocle. Although no version of the character ever wore one, these aren't isolated incidents. There are countless examples of the Mandela Effect in action, leaving us to question the nature of our shared reality. One of the most popular instances of the Mandela Effect concerns the spelling of the iconic toy brand Barbie. For many adults, their earliest memories include playing with Barbie dolls, and they distinctly remember the name being spelled B-A-R-B-I-E. But official Mattel records show that the spelling has always been Barbie. Now, you might dismiss this as a simple misremembering, a quirk of a child's mind, but the numbers are staggering. Thousands upon thousands of people across the globe share this Barbie memory. How can so many people be mistaken about something so ingrained in popular culture? It seems almost impossible. This, and other similar cases, raise a disturbing possibility. What if our memories are more fluid than we believe, shaped by unseen forces that bend the very fabric of our reality? Another striking example of the Mandela Effect revolves around the 1982 film Poltergeist. In this horror movie, the young protagonist is sucked into a TV set while watching the children's program. In our reality, that program was called together, We Can Do It. But many people, including some of the film's cast and crew, insist it was titled, The Kids Can Do It. Even stranger, a group of Swedish preschoolers corroborated the latter title, claiming it was a program they watched regularly. Yet no record of The Kids Can Do It exists outside of their collective memory. The Mandela Effect in these instances isn't just a matter of personal recollection. It's a shared experience that defies explanation. If these memories are false, they're remarkably consistent. If they're real, then they challenge our understanding of how memories form and persist. In the realm of the Mandela Effect, the memories don't stop at fictional characters or movies. Historical figures also seem to be subject to this strange phenomenon. Take, for example, the Turkish ambassador, who many swear was assassinated in London in the 1970s. Despite the conviction of the assassin in our timeline, a substantial number of people remember the event differently. They recall the ambassador's wife being the victim, killed in a case of mistaken identity. This isn't a minor detail. It's a complete inversion of an event that supposedly took place in our past. So what could explain these discrepancies? Are we dealing with collective false memories, alternate realities, bleeding into our own, or something else entirely? Even more puzzling, the Mandela Effect isn't limited to memories of the past. Some people claim to be experiencing it in real time, Consider the case of the Oscar Awards. Many insist that in recent years, the award for Best Picture was mistakenly announced as La La Land instead of the actual winner, Moonlight, but no video evidence supports this claim. It was Moonlight from the start. Similarly, there are those who remember Apple co-founder Steve Jobs dying in the early 2000s, only for him to reappear in 2011, seemingly out of nowhere. These aren't isolated cases. There are numerous reports of people witnessing events that never happened or of alternate versions of well-known figures existing in our world. This leads us to a chilling conclusion. Reality, as we know it, may be alternate timelines could be colliding, merging, or replacing our own. In this scenario, the Mandela Effect becomes a glimpse into other realities, a peek through the cracks in our universe. There are various theories attempting to explain the Mandela Effect. One posits that memories are malleable, shaped by external factors and the passage of time. As people recount and re-experience memories, they can become distorted, eventually morphing into something entirely different. This aligns with the Mandela Effect's defining feature, the involvement of large groups of people whose memories converge despite having no shared source of influence. However, this theory struggles to explain the consistency of these memories. Why do so many people remember details so vividly and uniformly if their memories are constantly changing? It seems that something more robust than simple memory lapse is at play here. Others point towards the observer effect from quantum mechanics. This principle suggests that the very act of observing a system can alter its behavior. Could this apply to our reality? Imagine multiple timelines existing simultaneously, each branching out from different decisions, events, or even thoughts. When a significant shift occurs in one timeline, the paths diverge, creating alternate realities. The Mandela Effect would then arise when these timelines converge, allowing glimpses into alternate worlds where events unfolded differently. While intriguing, this theory requires a leap of imagination and currently lacks scientific backing. Still, there are those who take the Mandela Effect seriously, believing it signals a breakdown in the continuity of our reality. In this view, alternate timelines are merging, collapsing, or being rewritten, leading to inconsistencies in our collective memory. It's as if the script of our shared existence is being altered, leaving us with fragmented recollections of scenes that never truly occurred. This raises unsettling questions about the nature of our reality and our place within it. If our memories are unreliable guides to the past, if our present can change on a whim, then what can we trust? The very concept of a stable reality seems to crumble under the weight of these Mandela Effect instances. The Mandela Effect challenges the fundamental notion of a fixed reality, forcing us to confront the possibility that our shared world is more fluid and dynamic than we ever imagined. Whether viewed as a glitch in the matrix, a manifestation of alternate timelines, or a trick of our memories, the Mandela Effect leaves us with more questions than answers. It reminds us that there is as much about the universe and our place in it that we do understand. Perhaps it's this very mystery that makes the Mandela Effect so compelling, so terrifying. It's a phenomenon that strips away the comforting illusion of a stable reality, leaving us to grapple with the truth that our existence is nothing more than a collection of shifting moments, memories that fade, and realities that converge. What do you think? Is the Mandela Effect proof of alternate timelines, or just a quirk of our minds? Let us know your thoughts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button for more fascinating content. Thanks for watching.